are back with the wonderful Dr. Myles, mate. We're back into it again. One of the myths we want to talk about is, well, and it's not a myth because we've all heard our bones crack and crunch at some stage, and there is a bit of a pop when you, or a crunch when you get manipulated. Tell us about that, the science behind what those sounds are.
Well, when you get a specific chiropractic adjustment, the sound that you hear, and once again, we're not talking about infants. We're already graduated.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the older people. That sound is a release of gases in between your joint spaces. Your bones are not bone on bone. If that were so, we would be in trouble.
A lot of pain.
Everybody would be in a lot of pain all the time because we're constantly moving and things move. But the difference between the specific chiropractic adjustment and just things moving is that the adjustment addresses the specific area that is out of alignment that's causing nerve irritation or nerve pinching at that point, and puts it back into alignment. And sometimes there is that popping sound, but when it goes back into alignment, that's when that pressure is relieved.
Well, and as I say, I know from someone who has had adjustments, there is often an instant relief. You feel so much better after you've been adjusted, and I actually stand a little taller when I walk out, which is, and as I said, from jumping and running and all those different things, just that crunch, I often feel like I'm an inch shorter than I should be, and I go and get adjusted, and literally I can have one leg that's, come back to be the right length and stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
It is pretty phenomenal, mate. Let's talk about your passion for being a chiropractor to begin with. You've had your own business in Nashville for 15 years. I mean, that's not the type of thing that you just think, this is what I want to, I'll just have a crack at this, pardon the pun.
Right.
But to choose this profession, it was, your wife has worked in your family business, and to be there established in East Nashville for 15 years. I mean, you must be incredibly passionate about it to begin with.
I love it. It's awesome. It's so rewarding. Like, people come in every day and, they just get better, and we expect them to get better, and everybody's so upbeat and friendly. Even when I walk in the office and there's nobody there and my staff's there, they're just like, "Hey, Dr. Myles, good to see you this morning." And it's kind of hard to describe, but the clinic just has this feeling that's just amazing. It's got amazing energy, and we see amazing things happen all the time.
Well, I mean, that must stem a lot from yourself being a great leader, but you must have a fantastic staff underneath you. Tell us about some of those guys.
Absolutely. I've got an amazing staff. Drew Hitt, he has been with me over 5 years now, and he's a chiropractic therapy assistant and just such a great teacher. He helps out with anything in the office, and does some parts of the exam, and also he does we have what's called lumbar decompression, which stretches out the lumbar spine when you have a disc problem, and that opens up so the disc can get back to where it's supposed to be. Also, Corinne Galvin, she's up front. She's amazing. Just, you walk in and it's just at ease.
Sets the tone.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's just so easy. I mean, you just walk in, and even though we talked about that paperwork, it doesn't feel like stressful, and it's so relaxed in there. And then we have Linda Christopher, who is our massage therapist, and she's amazing. She's the best one I've ever had, and we've had a few massage therapists over the years who have worked in there, and just so positive. And when you have somebody laying hands on you, you want to make sure their intent's right, and her intent has always been obviously right, or she wouldn't be there. And last but not least is definitely not least is Julie Valentine. She's my office manager, and she is, without a doubt, she is a go-getter.
Yeah.
I mean, she is buzzing around the office all the time, and getting things done that need to be done, and just helping out any way she can.
And so you just mentioned all those fantastic stuff, and quickly touched on a few of those different services, like the massage therapy and things like that. What other things do you offer besides strictly the chiropractic side of things?
Well, we talked about the massage therapy, which is amazing. It helps your adjustment hold so much better. And so if you haven't had a massage, if you come to Linda, you'll be spoiled. She's amazing. But also we do exercises in the clinic. Once we get things in alignment, we want to stabilize those muscles around there. We also want to increase motion in the lumbar spine and in the neck. We work on like I talked about earlier, focusing on restoring the cervical curve in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
We do more, our clinic is more about correcting the cause. We're not a Tylenol for people. We're, you know, you come in, we're going to tell you what's going on. You decide, you know, if you want to go that route or not. But we want to correct the problem. We don't want to see you 3 months from now because you only came in a couple times and you felt better, and then you disappeared and you come back and you got the same exact problem and it's worse. We want to correct it. We want to see you ever so often beyond that. Just to say, hey, I want to get checked today. I want to make sure that I'm connected. Beyond that, that's, you know, we do, of course, we talked about the exercise, but we also prescribe some exercise to do outside of the clinic and things to do in our lives. We try to correct sleeping patterns, our sleeping habits, what people do at work all day long, whether they're sitting for long hours or if they're doing something repetitive, if they can change that up. We look at every aspect that got them there in order to change those things or help them learn how to change those things, and then correct that too. Because once again, once we do our job, we don't want that undone over time. So yeah, that's, I'm sure I'm not thinking of everything, but
no,
there's a lot of stuff that goes on in there in a positive way, of course.
Well, it's good that you haven't thought of everything, because we need everyone in Nashville and surrounds to go in and see you guys. They've been in business for 15 years for a reason, and you've seen a bit of Dr. Myles' personality today, and I'm sure if his personality is anything to go by, his staffing and the whole experience will be fantastic. Mate, thank you so much for coming in and talking about and clearing up some of these myths that surround this wonderful scientific approach to fixing up us incredibly clumsy humans like myself. So you got to go in and see the guys at Power Chiropractic and Wellness in East Nashville. And thanks again, mate. Really appreciate it.